Hello from Vicarage Road, where Hull City have been held to a goalless draw here by Watford. It could have been so much different had Ozan Tufan struck in a penalty after 10 minutes. Fabio Carvalho was fouled on just inside the penalty area by Wesley Hood. Actually, he was the guy that scored from miles out when the two teams met just before Christmas. Tufan's penalty, it's one of those, isn't it? It was a good save by Daniel Backman. I think if it goes in, you say good penalty. The fact the goalkeeper gets across and saves it, you say, good save. You know, it wasn't in the corner, it was at nice height. And that was after 10 minutes. I think if City go in front, they started really well. They started it with intent. They started on the front foot. I think if City go in front at 1-0 after 10 minutes, this is a game they'd probably see out and go on and win. But it wasn't to be. Watford, we've seen in the last few weeks since Tom Cleverley took over, they've gone toe-to-toe with Ipswich, they've gone toe-to-toe with Leeds, they've got some big results. They lost narrowly at Southampton last weekend. They weren't, in fairness, without their own chances. They created some really good chances. If I'm being honest, I think a draw is a fair result. I'm not sure that the Hull City coaching staff would necessarily agree, because they'll feel that, particularly in the last 10 minutes, that their side had some good chances, and they did. Carvalho saw a free kick well saved by Backman. Greaves, they basically pushed everybody forward in the last few minutes. Jacob Greaves went through one-on-one. Goalkeeper made a really, really good save low down. He did something that goalkeepers are frightened to do nowadays, which is catch the ball and hold the ball. Goalkeepers are so intent on punching crosses and flapping at things and batting things away that few goalkeepers actually now just catch it or save it. And credit to Backman, because with 2 or 3 City players around him, he held on to it. He made another good save from Matty Jacob. There was a melee, but City were pushing. But for me, if I'm honest, I think after Tufan's penalty was saved, I don't want to say it was missed because he hit the target, which is your first port of call. I feel that after that, for probably an hour, they didn't, they didn't press home their quality enough. I felt at times they were passive in the game. They were in the game. Watford were. It kind of, for a period of time in the game, it sort of meandered along, and I just wanted somebody from in a blue shirt to grab it by the scruff of the neck and go, right, we're going to go on and score a goal here. And for too long in that second half, it was just passive until probably, like I say, the last 10 minutes where they really had a go. There was no lack of effort or anything like that. And Watford, I thought Watford dealt with Carvalho and Philogene relatively well throughout the game. But it just wasn't to be, and I think today probably sums up, if we were to take a snapshot of City's season at times where they've dropped points, I think you'd probably say, well, this is it. They just haven't had that killer instinct in the final third where they've needed it, and therefore they've come away with a 0-0 draw. I think the feeling is probably that the chance is now gone. Nothing's changed in the sense they're still 6 points behind Norwich, but Norwich have got 2 games left. City have got 3 now. But it's all ifs and buts, isn't it? They've now got to go to Coventry on Wednesday night. They've got to win, and if they win at Coventry, then then they take it to the weekend. It's ifs and buts. What shape will Coventry be in? They've obviously got the FA Cup semi-final against Manchester United at Wembley on Sunday afternoon, which Liam's going to go and watch. What state will they be in? Yeah, Danny, ruthlessness is something that they've struggled with at times all season, and today they just lacked that clinical final bit. But even there, they didn't create a huge amount before the last 10 minutes, and that would be my one criticism of them. Lots of nice football, lots of moments within that kind of spell from when Tufan saw his penalty save to kind of the 80th minute. Moments, not massive amounts of saves from the goalkeeper until obviously he went hell for leather. He threw on Liam Delap, who should have had a penalty. That's unfortunate. One of the cleaners has just dropped a bag of rubbish all the way down the stand. It could have been worse, actually. Only a few bottles have popped out of it. Delap came on. It was great to see him. He was direct. He shot wide of the far post under a real challenge. And I'd say he should have had a penalty for me. He had the shirt pulled off his back. He'd gone past the full-back into the penalty area. Shirt ripped off his back, I should say, and that should have been a penalty not given. Ironically, Watford went up straight up the other end, and were given an almost identical one when Alfred Jones fouled his man, and that was given as a free kick, but outside the box. So them's the decisions. Tom Cleverley felt like there should have been a penalty for a handball, wasn't given. So ifs and buts again. And as I say, they were pushing late second half, really pushing. They knew they needed a goal, but Watford were not without their own chances. They missed. They only had 2 shots on target. Come past, mate, if you want. Come past. Come on. Just wait. We need to let this geezer come past. So yeah, they weren't without their own chances. In fairness, as I said, I think a point is probably about fair for what we've seen. I've got to give credit to Matty Jacob. I thought Matty Jacob was brilliant today. Same side named as you would expect against QPR, the same team that played QPR off the park. Matty Jacob made one absolutely outstanding header away early in the first half, which probably would have been a goal. Cross-clipped him from the left-hand side. He got up, cleared a yard out from his goal. In the second half, it became a bit at times like a basketball game, and he made City were caught numbers. They got numbers up the pitch. They counted Watford. Emmanuel Dennis back post, about to pull the trigger, and Matty Jacob came in with an absolutely perfect tackle. If he gets it wrong, it's a penalty, or Dennis scores. But he got it absolutely perfect. I thought Jacob was decent today. I thought Jacob Greaves was absolutely first class. Jones, Regan Slater playing right back had a couple of chances first off that came from crosses on that right hand side in quick succession, but dealt with his task manfully. I thought, look, it was a decent performance away from home against a side that have got a lot of quality, and it just wasn't quite to be, was it? Ultimately, in that top third of the pitch where they've been so good in the last 3 games, they were just found wanting today. And we talk all about moments in games, don't we? And if Tufan scores the penalty, as I said at the top, I think they probably go on and win the game, and we're having a very different conversation going to Coventry on Wednesday night. But the fact at the end of the game there was 1,500 away fans here. They roared their team off. All the players and the staff went across. They clapped they clapped the fans. The fans clapped and roared them in return. And that shows the effort they put in today. And if they are to fall short of the playoffs, it's not through lack of effort. It's going to be that killer instinct probably in front of goal that's been lacking, and I think that is going to be their Achilles heel. And they've had that. Look, we can look at since the turn of the year, since January. There's been 1 or 2 games that spring to mind where they've missed clear chances. But you could go back pre-Christmas. I don't think we should lose sight of the fact there were games pre-Christmas that they didn't take the chances. Traore against Leeds, is like smacks you in the face repeatedly at 3 o'clock in the morning. Plymouth at home was one they dropped points. Swansea away, there's a game they should have won. Having given themselves a heck of a lot of work to do. So it is. I think it's easy to think like recency bias and think, Stoke, Birmingham, etc., etc. But there have been other games earlier in the season, and it isn't what happened. If they finish 7th, it isn't because they failed to beat Stoke City. There were games before that they passed up the opportunity. And here today, they had a penalty after 10 minutes to go 1-0 in the lead and give themselves a real leg up early in the game away from home. They didn't take it, and moments, seasons are defined by moments, and Hull City have had a fantastic season. Let's not shy away from that, and they're still in it. Let's not write it off just yet. I feel like this is probably the one that's done for them, but you just never know. You just never know. West Brom have played well today at Leicester, but they've lost. They now go to Sheffield Wednesday, who are fighting for their lives. That's not going to be a given. Norwich have got a home game that isn't going to be a given against Swansea. Swansea have gone to Huddersfield today, and you'd have thought that given Huddersfield's trials and tribulations, that might have been a home win. While Swansea have gone there and smashed them for 4. So at this stage of the season, anything can happen. And even when you think teams have got, I don't like to say nothing to play for, because every professional footballer, every team has something to play for their own personal pride, paying supporters and various other things. So every team has something to go at and something to play for, even if they can't go up or down. If City can go to Coventry and win on Wednesday, then that puts the pressure back on Norwich, who play before City play Ipswich next Saturday. So, look, I think the smart money is the fact they're going to miss out, but all the time there is hope. You have to have belief, and they're still there. They're still in with a shout, even if today does feel potentially one of those days where, well, they've dropped 2 points and that's an opportunity missed. So that's pretty much here at Vicarage Road. Just a couple of key points to reference. And as Sir Rory wasn't involved, he say back in Cottingham, he was training today. It's again going to be touch and go whether he's back for Coventry on Wednesday night. At the CBS Arena, there was no Aaron Connolly in the squad today. Nothing to do with injury, I don't believe, just selection. Obviously no Ohio with Liam Delap back involved. So that's it. We'll have the podcast for you on Monday ahead of Coventry, so get in touch at the 1904 Club on Twitter if you want to raise a question, a point, have your say, of course. Tickets are still on sale for our live event on May the 7th. Go and get them at £3, already £3. Ticket money goes to charity. We've got some great guests coming along, so come along, get your tickets now for that. And we will be with Liam at the training ground on Monday to preview the trip to Coventry on Wednesday. So thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for getting in touch. If you've been here today, you made a great noise. Really good atmosphere from the 1500 down here this afternoon, who backed their side, and you know, they saw a meaty performance, if not the result perhaps that they deserved and they wanted. So that's it from here at Vicarage Road. We'll be back with you from Coventry on Wednesday night. Thanks everybody, and take care.